Oh man, why is it so high up? I've made it. Hello? I've come for training.
And why do you seek training?
I want to save magic, and I'll need training if I'm to wield the ultimate commander.
The ultimate commander is not something to be controlled. It chooses its master.
Then help me to become worthy.
Very well. You've already done what most Magic players could not.
Really? What's that?
Get up that flight of stairs.
What's up, Planeswalkers? How you doing? We're hitting the ground running this week with another viewer-requested commander, Ink Eyes, Servant of Oni. They are a 2 black and 4 colorless, 5/4 rat ninja that comes with a 5 mana ninjutsu ability. But, as this is in the command zone, that ability won't be too relevant. Now, the important text for our deck is whenever Ink Eyes deals combat damage to a player, you may put target creature card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Also, he has Regenerate for 1 black and 1 colorless. Don't sleep on that. Now, back in the day, this card used to be one of the only rat commanders out there, but our viewer requested a good Ink Eyes deck, so no rat typle today. No. Today, we went full money pile and mono black reanimator control. That said, this deck is more expensive than my first card, so don't be afraid to use other means of obtaining the cards for the deck. Our strategy will rely on fast mana to get out our commander, and we'll use artifacts and enchantments to fill our opponent's graveyard and finish things off with a few combos. Now, if you're new here, I do request, so leave a comment or join our Discord if you have a commander you want to see in its own video. For the creature package, we have Changeling Outcast, because remember when I said Ninjutsu ability was irrelevant? Well, I lied. We do have a few tricks to get the commander in our hand for it. So this card provides a unblockable attacker for us to get our commander out. Fleshbag Marauder is a good edict piece to get a creature in our opponent's graveyard for our commander. Nashi Moonsage Scion is another card that we have ninjutsu on that we can use all our ninjutsu creatures for to start stealing the top card of people's libraries, and that's always a good way to make some friends. Ophiomancer provides a good attacker for ninjutsu and a good blocker because the token has death touch, and we basically get to keep making them every upkeep that we don't have a snake. Opposition Agent is our first mono black control piece. This card shuts down any tutoring effects and gives us all the benefit because we control the player while they're tutoring. Just remember, timing restrictions still apply. Playcrafter is our better flesh bag as it can hit planeswalkers and it makes people discard if they have nothing to sacrifice. Cryptghast is a mana doubler, and the extort ability is really clutch when most of your cards require a lot of life. Gonti, Lord of Luxury, steals even more cards, and since we have some ninjutsu creatures with ETBs get better as we can return them to our hand. Sheoldred the Apocalypse, this card is a house. It gains us life, drains our opponents, and in this deck it does combo with Bolas's Citadel. Grey Merchant of Asphodel makes winning easy with the amount of devotion we play, and again, we chew through our life total, so this card is a lifesaver. Sheoldred, because we plan to fill a graveyard, so flipping it into the Dark Realm Saga will be easy and a strong play. Once again, this card also has a really good ETB for those ninjutsu. Remember, all this removal can get good creatures in the graveyard for our commanders, so remember, the more removal, the better. Sir Conrad the Grim is great when you know you'll be manipulating graveyards as you can ping players, but the 2 mana activation is really useful for just our reanimation purposes. Brainstealer Dragon has a lot of text, but don't worry, the takeaway from this card is we gotta steal the top card of libraries for extra card advantage, and our commander's ability can now drain our opponents based on the CMC of the creature we reanimate. Crick, Son of Yawgmoth really should be a 4-drop because I've never played this card for its full cost. Anyways, this card is the ultimate mono black ramp piece that eliminates the need for black mana so long as we have life to spare. Just saying, 1 mana Invoke Despairs are really good. Sheoldred, Whispering One is a vice we can put on the table. It makes opponents sack their creatures and reanimates one of our fallen creatures. Moving on to our spells, we have Dark Ritual for the early explosive turns or the late game commander attacks. Defile is a 1 mana removal spell as we play 25 swamps and a Orborg. Reanimate because it's in the name. Vampiric Tutor and Demonic Tutor because tutors just add another level of consistency to your deck, especially when you're playing combos. Cabal Ritual is a worse Dark Ritual, sometimes. Feed the Swarm so we can remove annoying enchantments like Rest in Peace. Imp's Mischief to redirect counterspells or Time Warps at our leisure, just remember we need life. Knight's Whisper and Sign in Blood for some cheap card draw. Sheoldred's Edict as it gets around a lot of different protection and we can make a distinction on what our opponent sacrifices. Torment of Hellfire because we have a lot of mana in this deck and even playing this card on 6 is enough to set players back far enough to catch up. Withering Boon because paying 3 life for an Essence Scatter in black is really good, and when your commander can steal the creature that you Essence Scattered, it's even better. Toxic Deluge is a great board wipe, and if you're stuck on lands, it's a lifesaver. Baleful Mastery for those creatures or planeswalkers too dangerous to be allowed to exist in the game. Deadly Rollick is a free spell with our commander, and sometimes there is a Cauldron Complete Might that you can't edict away, so the only answer is to exile it. Snuff Out is a 4-life Doomblade. Hey, free removal is free removal. Beacon of Unrest is a 5-mana reanimate spell that shuffles back into our library so we can steal more and don't have to rely solely on our commander. Invoke Despair because enchantments are just that good and we need a way to destroy them while also drawing cards or clearing a board. Life's Finale is one of my Timmy inclusions, but this card is cute as it's a board wipe and a Buried Alive that we can play on our opponents so we can dictate what we'll be stealing out of their deck. Finally, Breach the Multiverse to reanimate 4 creatures or planeswalkers all at once to make sure you win by a mile. Also, the 10 cards means we leave stuff for our commander to get as well, which is always great. Now, for the artifacts and enchantments, I'll start with the ramp. First, we have Jeweled Lotus. Since our commander is monocolored, this card is perfect for getting our commander out early. Mana Crypt and Mana Vault for more early game acceleration. And as of recording this video, if you do have the money, Mana Crypt has just been reprinted, so it's a good time to pick it up. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Charcoal Diamond. Then, Thought Vessel and Black Market Connections, as it can make a treasure token, but of course it also makes bodies and draws cards. Speaking of card draw, we do have the old classic for Phyrexian Arena. For everything else, we have Sensei's Divining Top for top of the library manipulation, Aetherflux Reservoir for the combo, but the life here and there is fine, and Bolas's Citadel to play cards off the top of our library. All 3 of these cards together give us a infinite combo to laser beam the table. Shadow Spare to start our equipment off, but the lifelink and removal of Indestructible is why we're playing this card. Lightning Greaves and Swiftfoot Boots for the haste and protection of our commander. Mindcrank to mill our opponents when we hit them with our commander, and we can stack the trigger so that our opponents will always mill and then we'll reanimate. And Bloodchief Ascension is a combo piece with Mindcrank once we get the quest counters on, which is never a hard task. Animate Dead for more dead creature stealing. Neitherborn Altar is a fun card in this deck, as with it out, we don't have to pay our commander tax anymore, and we can always ninjutsu our commander because now we can put it in our hand at instant speed as well. Bitter Blossom to make some tokens we can ninjutsu with, or we could beat face with it. Either way, this card is useful. Dreadhorde serves the same purpose, but with no flying, it will be harder to get a hit in, especially because ninjutsu is really easily telegraphed. Trailblazer Boots, as we can't really rely on the ninjutsu to get in for commander triggers, so we'll just make him unblockable instead. Whisper Silk Cloak is more unblockable, but this time we get some protection with it. Sword of Body and Mind for the damage mill trigger that is really important for our commander. To round things out, we have Portal to Phyrexia. It's a mini board wipe, and it naturally steals a creature from any graveyard on our upkeep. This card is a really easy inclusion. Larceny, so we can maybe get an important creature out of our opponent's hand, but either way, our opponent will not be happy about this card. Also, we do have Bitter Blossom, so at some point, these 2 cards can work together to easily delete someone's hand. Virtue of Persistent makes yet another appearance. It's almost like printing 2 relevant spells on 1 card is really good or something. Seriously, this card is great. Kill a creature, gain some life, and then reanimate enchantment later. For the Manabase, any old pile of swamps will do, but if you'd like to copy a Manabase, then help yourself to the one found in the description of this video. My land recommendation for this deck is Rogue's Passage, as it's an easy way to make sure you connect with your important creatures. For the combos section, I'll go over one of the combos in the deck, but there are more to find, although technically I've shown all the combos in this deck in other videos. For this combo, we need 2 cards, Mindcrank and Bloodchief's Ascension. With both cards out and 3 quest counters on Bloodchief, we can start the combo. Now, if an opponent loses life or a card hits their graveyard, we start a near infinite life drain loop. It's near infinite as we actually need opponents to have cards in their library. The way it works is, Mindcrank triggers once for each life loss event, causing that player to mill cards equal to the amount of life lost. Bloodchief Ascension triggers once for each card milled, causing that player to lose 2 life and you gain 2 life for each trigger. This repeats until that player is dead. That's going to be it for today's video. Let me know how I did or tell me about your favorite rat in the comments below. Subscribe or join to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.